Today, we're delving into the fascinating world of twin flames. If you've come across this term and wondered about its meaning, or if you suspect you may have met your twin flame, you're in the right place. We'll dissect every facet of this intriguing concept. Twin flames are often portrayed as two halves of a singular soul, destined to reunite and forge a deep, transformative connection. This notion carries spiritual, emotional, and even contentious implications. Over the next few minutes, we'll explore the different forms twin flames can take. We'll examine the emotional and spiritual paths they navigate and the debates that surround this idea. Additionally, we'll touch on its historical origins to provide a well-rounded perspective. So let's get started. First and foremost, it's important to recognize that twin flames aren't a universal experience. In fact, there are various categories, each distinguished by unique characteristics and bonds. To begin with, we have monadic twin flames. These pairs are thought to originate from the same monad or source of energy and share a mission to spread unconditional love across humanity. They are connected by what's known as a golden cord, a spiritual link that binds them together. Next are the split soul twin flames. These individuals share a higher self, meaning they are tied through a singular higher consciousness. Practices like past life regression are often used to help these twin flames reconnect, enabling them to recall past lives they've experienced together. Lastly, we encounter starseed twins. Starseed twin flames operate with a hive mind, sharing strikingly similar thoughts and viewpoints. What sets them apart is that their connection is often revealed through a synastry chart, an astrological tool that compares two birth charts to assess their relational dynamics. Each type of twin flame has distinct ways of being identified. You might have a vivid premonition before meeting your twin flame, or find yourselves seated next to each other on an unexpected international flight. It can feel as though the universe is orchestrating your meeting. Now that you're familiar with the various types, you might be curious about how these connections evolve emotionally and spiritually. Stay tuned because we're about to dive into the twin flame journey. So you've learned about the different twin flame types and how to recognize them. But what happens after you find your twin flame? Get ready. The journey isn't always smooth sailing. It's an emotional and spiritual roller coaster. It all starts with the yearning phase. During this period, you might feel an intense longing to find your other half, even if you haven't met them yet. Here's where things get really interesting. Many people report experiencing telepathic connections or sharing emotions with their twin flame at this stage, as if their souls are silently communicating. Following this is the notorious runner and chaser phase. One person, the runner, might feel so overwhelmed by the intensity of the connection that they pull away, while the chaser tries earnestly to close the gap. This push and pull dynamic can be both exhilarating and exhausting. But what causes this behavior? It often ties back to the concept of divine masculine and divine feminine energies. These energies explain how twin flames mirror each other's actions and emotions. While they complement one another, they can also magnify each other's fears and insecurities. This interplay leads to more challenging phases, like the turmoil or testing stage. Here, unresolved issues and old wounds come to the surface. However, this is also a crucial period for personal growth and self-awareness. Facing these challenges head-on can lead to healing and set the stage for a more balanced union. But the journey doesn't end there. Eventually, twin flames reach a phase known as oneness, where they have resolved their conflicts and achieved both emotional and spiritual harmony. We'll delve deeper into this stage shortly. As you can see, the twin flame journey is not for the faint-hearted. It offers profound joy and spiritual enlightenment, but also brings hidden traumas and insecurities to light. It's essentially the ultimate test of emotional resilience. Up next, we're going to explore the more controversial aspects of twin flames, including some well-documented criticisms. Now, let's shift our focus to the controversies that surround twin flames. While the journey can be incredibly uplifting and spiritually fulfilling, it's important to recognize some potential pitfalls and criticisms. For instance, organizations like the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, NCADV, have pointed out that certain dynamics in twin flame relationships can resemble those found in abusive partnerships. Behaviors such as possessiveness and coerced intimacy can surface, and these issues shouldn't be ignored. It's crucial to emphasize that not all twin flame relationships exhibit these problems, but the deep emotional and spiritual ties can sometimes blur boundaries, making it challenging for both individuals to identify unhealthy patterns. This is why many professionals recommend seeking counseling, particularly during turbulent phases like the runner and chaser dynamic we mentioned earlier. While a twin flame connection can be life-changing, it's vital to approach it with clear eyes and caution. Emotional and spiritual growth should never come at the expense of your well-being. If you're in a twin flame relationship, be aware of both its enlightening and potentially hazardous aspects. The key is maintaining balance and ensuring that the relationship fosters mutual respect and growth. Now that we've examined the types, stages, and controversies of twin flames, let's add another layer by looking at its historical background. Let's journey back to ancient times, specifically to the era of Plato. Yes, you heard correctly. The concept of twin flames isn't a modern phenomenon. It dates back to ancient philosophy. In Plato's Symposium, love is depicted as a quest for completeness, suggesting that humans were once whole but were split apart and now seek their missing halves. This timeless idea enriches the twin flame narrative with a historical dimension. However, don't confuse twin flames with soulmates or soul families. Though these terms are often used interchangeably, they signify different connections. Soulmates can appear in various forms: friends, family members, or romantic partners. And you can meet multiple soulmates throughout your life. They play diverse roles in your personal growth. Twin flames, on the other hand, are considered a singular, transformative connection. They propel both individuals toward profound rebirth and unity, a level of intensity that surpasses typical soulmate relationships. So there you have it, a historical perspective and a clear distinction from other spiritual bonds. Remember, the twin flame journey is more than just another love story. It's a spiritual expedition that pushes you toward unparalleled personal growth. From the various categories like monadic, split soul, and star seed twins, to the emotional highs and lows, and even the controversies that have sparked significant debate, it's clear that the realm of twin flames is both complex and captivating. Before we wrap up, let's acknowledge the dual nature of this concept. On one hand, it's a deeply spiritual and transformative experience, fostering emotional growth and unity. On the other, it can present substantial emotional challenges and risks. This makes it essential to approach the twin flame journey with emotional preparedness and discernment. If you find yourself in a twin flame relationship, or even if you're simply intrigued by the idea, remember that it's not just about romantic allure or emotional intensity. It's about embracing profound emotional and spiritual growth, which may involve confronting unresolved insecurities and past traumas. Whether you're a believer, a skeptic, or just curious, one thing is certain. The twin flame journey is not for the faint-hearted. It's a transformative path that demands dedication to spiritual growth, personal development, and emotional well-being. And that concludes our deep dive for today. If you found this discussion insightful or thought-provoking, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Share your thoughts or questions. See you next time. Take care